Fans filing into sold-out TD Place for the home opener of the 2-0 Ottawa REDBLACKS against the Calgary Stampeders tonight on TSN.
Welcome to Friday Night Football on TSN. Tonight, Stamps, REDBLACKS. Come on in.
Heading into week 3, he was the CFL's leading passer in yardage and touchdowns, and with Henry Burris hurt, Trevor Harris is paying immediate dividends for Ottawa with a perfect QB rating. Here's the league's leading rusher through week 2, Calgary's Jerome Messam, promising to make the Stamps transition from the retired John Cornish a whole lot less painful. Messam with 137 yards on the ground in their victory over Winnipeg last week. Hi there and welcome. It is Friday Night Football on TSN. I'm Rod Smith. Doubleheader tonight, so we got 2 games. We got 2 guys back here who are going to be talking a whole lot about them, and Jock Climby and Matt Dunnigan. And later tonight, it is Chris Jones back at Commonwealth for the first time since he led the Eskimos to the Grey Cup. But first, it is the Calgary Stampeders at 1-1 against the Ottawa REDBLACKS, who are back home for the first time since Burris to Ellingson, that drama last November that led them to the Grey Cup game. Ottawa's in good shape with Trevor Harris at quarterback after Henry Burris went down.
How can you be in better shape? He's perfect. I mean, that's just ridiculous after a game and a half. And what foresight for this club to bring him in, like you said earlier, is paying dividends. I love to watch him play. He's very methodical. He lets the game come to himself and distributes the ball extremely well and utilizes the talent around him. That's ultimately what you have to do as a quarterback, distribute the rock, and he does a great job of that. On the other side, Bo Levi Mitchell comes in hot, plays with a big-time chip on his shoulder. He's got 17 straight games throwing a touchdown pass, franchise record. Absolutely 2 phenomenal competitors leading their football team that's laden with talent and 2 very good defenses as well, Jocko.
Yeah, you know, Trevor Harris has got, as you mentioned, so many weapons. I mean, 4,000-yard receivers. Who wouldn't want that? And I'm sure there's lots of quarterbacks that feel they could do the same thing, you included. Even at your age, Matty, I think you could probably step in there
I don't know about that.
You know, throw for 50 yards.
Phenomenal watching those guys play.
It is. It's lots of fun. And Trevor Harris understands that he's still just keeping the seat warm for Henry Burris. But it's an interesting story right now in the CFL because you've got only 1 undefeated team here in week 3, which is unusual because normally you got, you know, a few going at this point in the year.
You said earlier that you want to see Ottawa lose this ball game. What is that about?
You're trying to get all the people in Ottawa mad at me because everyone knows that's where I'm from. But yeah,
I seem to remember hearing that, Jock.
You just like parity, right? You like parity.
I just want some parity. Yeah. And you know what? If Calgary's able to win on the road, first of all, that incredible streak of road teams winning will continue. It's now the road
2-8.
2-8 now at home. It's crazy. So that'll continue. But I want to see every team with an opportunity to win week in, week out. So yeah, you know what? Go Stamps, go.
Okay, well, there you go. Jock's saying that. Ottawa's Jock Climby, REDBLACKS fans. Trying to go to 3-0. Calgary looked awfully good last week against Winnipeg. Game 1 of the double dip coming up on Friday Night Football.
Thank you so much, Rod. Hello, Canada, and those of you watching in the United States. Calgary Stampeders, Ottawa REDBLACKS, the home opener. A little bit different this time. Home opener as the defending Eastern Division champions. Sold out crowd here tonight.
And this is a battle that on the field will pit the league's leading receiver, Chris Williams, over 360 yards, averaging over 24 yards a catch, against the league's leading rusher, Calgary running back Jerome Messam, averaging 6.7 yards a carry. He has 153 yards through the season's first 2 weeks, including 137 in a victory over Winnipeg in week 2.
Dave Dickinson, maiden voyage as head coach of the Calgary Stampeders, got his first win last week as a CFL head coach against Winnipeg. And Rick Campbell coming off the bumping incident in Montreal. 2-0 his team right now. Last time an Ottawa franchise was 2-0 with wins away from home back in 1975. Zach Medeiros is going to kick this off for us tonight. Cloudy skies, but a beautiful night here in the nation's capital, right near the Rideau. And we are ready to roll here tonight. 2-0 against 1-1. Red and black against red and white tonight in Ottawa. It's Roy Finch to the 20 to 25 yard line. He's wrapped up. He's ripped down. And out comes Bo Levi Mitchell and the Calgary Stampeders. A year ago here at TD Place Stadium, they lost by a field goal.
And Bo Levi Mitchell looking to erase that blemish on his career record as a starter. 309 yards for him last week in that win in the Stamps home opener.
Since that loss here in Ottawa, though, the Stampeders have gone 12-3 in regular season play. Powerhouse franchise. 4 receivers right. The handoff to the beast, Jerome Messam. Picks up about 4 yards. Comes in as the rushing leader after 2 weeks in the Canadian Football League.
Well, Messam and Mitchell will be joined in 2 back sets in that backfield by fullback Rob Cote, a solid veteran receiving core. Marquay McDaniel, the go-to guy. Offensive line that's battled some injuries. Cam Thorne, the former BC Lion, gets the start at center here tonight.
Second down 6. Mitchell into traffic looking for Marquay McDaniel. Antoine Pruneau, former first-round pick back in 2014, the Montreal Caravan star, breaks that up.
It's a matchup on the inside. Pruneau, strong side linebacker, moving out to take the number 3 receiver. Nice job getting the head around and the arm across to defend that pass.
Rob Maver to the newest Red Black, longtime CFLer Tristan Jackson, former Eskimo and Rough Rider, signed with the Red Blacks. He's here this week. He'll return kicks. An outstanding returner. Tristan back to his 14. And he's hit hard near the 22-yard line. A return of 9. Here comes Trevor Harris. Look at the numbers in 5.5 quarters of work.
Yeah, a remarkable start to his Ottawa Red Blacks career for Trevor Harris. Free agent signing that looks particularly astute given the injury that has put Henry Burris on the 6-game injured list.
Great percentage as always.
We're inside 25.
Trevor Harris, as he did in Toronto, has come to the rescue. Did it in with the Argos with Ricky Ray out, and now with Burris out, Harris does this. Dishes it off to Greg Ellingson. Last time they played a game here at TD Place Stadium 229 days ago was the Ellingson catch in the Eastern Final.
And a few changes, of course, since then, along with Harris in that backfield. You see Nick Grigsby replacing an injured Trayvon Van in the backfield. We'll talk more about that. There's your 4 1,000-yard receivers from a year ago. The right side of the offensive line is new as well. Last year's #1 pick, Alex Mateus, is at right guard.
Once again, it's Ellingson. Goes high after the hit by Tommy Campbell, but it's a first down for the Red Blacks.
Just a quick hitter there. You see good protection. Harris getting the ball out on time.
Ellingson, 9 catches now on the season, coming off a 1,000-yard season. Play action, and there it is again. And so far, the game plan, Ellingson, Ellingson, Ellingson. Another first down.
And they do a nice job here with the play action. You'll see Charleston Hughes come off the edge. That freezes one of the league's best pass rushers for a minute, even though he's an unblocked guy, allowing Trevor Harris the time to release that one to Ellingson in the flat.
Stayed in the air each time now. The Red Blacks do have a new running back in tow with Nick Grigsby. Harris, though, goes left side this time, and this time it's Chris Williams. Chris Williams has had an unbelievable start, and a lot of it has been with Trevor Harris.
It'll be interesting to watch tonight as you've got Chris Williams, of course, a veteran here in the CFL. Guy off to a highly productive start here in 2016. Matched up against a first-year CFLer a lot of the time into the boundary in Tommy Campbell. Campbell's got that big size advantage and has great speed, but obviously a big difference in terms of experience.
Now the handoff. Nick Grigsby is back in the CFL. It began with the Blue Bombers to Hamilton to Edmonton, and here filling in for Trayvon Van.
Look at this Calgary Stampeder defense. Derek Wigan will get the start at D tackle. Quinn Smith, who had been filling in for Junior Turner, out of the lineup. Linebacking core remains intact. Deron Mayo, the anchor of that group. As we mentioned, relatively veteran group in the secondary. Tommy Campbell, of course, the newcomer on the boundary.
Harris changing the play now. They might not get it off. They won't. Time count violation. Seemed to be some confusion there as Harris saw something.
Time count violation. Ottawa,
in the
number
formation
7.
from the Calgary
5-yard
Stampeders.
penalty, named second down.
Kim Murphy is our referee tonight.
When you talk about the start for Trevor Harris, a lot of the credit for his success goes to that man, offensive coordinator Jamie Elizondo, with whom Harris had some familiarity from their time together in Toronto.
2nd and 12. Little crossing pattern here. And down near the first down marker is Nick Grigsby. Grigsby, the former Arizona Wildcat, made such an impression when he went to Winnipeg. In fact, his first ever game against Ottawa, he had over 120 yards and 3 touchdowns as a Blue Bomber. It was his second game as a Bomber, first versus Ottawa. So now he is a member of the Red Blacks, and he was available. He was selling cars down in Florida. Harris now swinging it out. One-on-one over there. Now 1-on-2. Chris Williams again. Half the first down yardage. This was Nick Grigsby back in 2014.
Yeah, Ottawa's season opener. Grigsby's second game as a Winnipeg Blue Bomber. He quickly established himself as a fan favorite. And that game demonstrated his skills not just as a ball carrier, but also as a receiver. It's that versatility that makes him a fit as a running back in today's CFL. Got to be able to do it all.
2nd and 4. And so far, Trevor Harris has only had a perfect night. Now he uses Sinopoli, his 3rd receiver of the night. Another first down, 1st and goal. What an incredible drive here from the Ottawa REDBLACKS to open this home opener in 2016.
See on the end of the line, Grigsby does a nice job helping on that pass pro, picking up the defensive end, Charleston Hughes.
Grigsby, who fell out of favor in Winnipeg, ended up in Hamilton, and Edmonton has gone to the last couple Grey Cup games. Play action. Williams can waltz. Touchdown! Slicing and dicing. And Chris Williams has his 4th touchdown in his 3rd game of the new season.
He'll come motion right to left on your screen. Unique look there with the double tights, slipping Williams across the formation to free him up in the flat. Trevor Harris and this Ottawa offense picking right up where they left off. 10 plays, 87 yards, eating up nearly 5 minutes in their opening possession.
Sold out crowd barely got in their seats. They'll go for 2 and a catch from Jackson, but he won't get to the end zone. Still an explosive start. Trevor Harris, CW, Chris Williams finds the house again in Ottawa's house. There he is, Chris Williams, last year career highs in so many areas. If he keeps doing what he is doing early in this season, he's going to shatter a bunch of records.
And here creating a little bit of confusion to get him open. You'll see Williams first motion to the front side. It looks like Josh Bell is going to take him. But then as Williams gets here and he's going to come across the formation, you're going to see them try to switch on the back end. A little bit of confusion the halfback, I believe Brandon Smith, a little bit slow picking up that communication, finding Williams behind the lines. He's late getting over there, leaving Williams open in the flat.
Roy Finch for the high hurdle and then is brought down at the 35-yard line. Guy who played in Ottawa, Roy Finch. Now it's time for Bo Levi Mitchell to answer. Normally he does. We'll see tonight. Friday Night Football continues. Wherever you are, you're missing this, because this is a party every time out at this stadium. TD Place Stadium tonight is rocking. Every seat sold, everybody up, and the Horsemen trying to spoil the party. Bo Mitchell now out of the backfield. And his first connection with former Hamilton Tiger Cat, Bakari Grant, inserted into the starting lineup tonight.
Yeah, Bakari Grant, great free agent addition for this team as we take a look at this Ottawa defense, starting the three Canadians up front, and Williams, Evans, and Gascon-Nadon. A little more Canadian content in that linebacking core with Antoine Pruneau. 5 internationals in the secondary. Jermaine Robinson, heavy hitter at that free safety spot.
2nd and 3, there's the rush. There goes the ball. Down the sideline, and Anthony Parker can't get to it. Forrest Hightower on the corner, but there is a penalty flag that flew in the backfield as Mitchell was heaving that football.
Holding Calgary, number 33. Penalty is declined. 3rd down.
So it won't matter. One-on-one battle downfield. And Tristan Jackson back. Gives Chris Williams an opportunity as well to really concentrate on offense, as Williams can also return for the Red Blacks. Rob Maver, that's not a good kick, but it does bounce out of bounds. Speaking of Chris Williams, combined yardage leader right now, could threaten the all-time mark set by Chad Owens a few years ago. Early in this fresh new season, Williams is starring once again. Picking up where he left off last season, Chris Williams doing it again, finding the end zone tonight. With more on his story, let's go down to Brent Wallace.
Absolutely, Rob. We saw in that first series that really Trevor Harris picked apart the DBs of Calgary. Now, yesterday Calgary came into town, specifically Fred Bennett, and said, you know what? We've heard all about how good these Ottawa receivers are, with 4 of them last year getting 1,000 yards. You know what? We're a pretty good group ourselves on defense. We plan to put an end to all this talk about how good Ottawa's receivers are. Well, they're going to have to do a lot better job, because right now in that first series they didn't stop anything. The guys to keep a matchup on, as Dwayne alluded to earlier, is Chris Williams and Tommy at this on the back end of this. Tommy Campbell, who is a rookie, he's 27 years old, but he's been very good of late. He's 6'3", where Chris Williams is 5'9". He's hoping that size difference will make a difference. We'll see as this game goes on, guys.
All right, thank you so much, Brent. Yes, Tommy Campbell, quite a story coming into the CFL. A guy with NFL experience. Harris, perfect so far. Not this time. Looking for Grigsby, so he was 10 for 10. But Chris Williams is on a remarkable Owens-like pace.
Well, it's an insane pace, really, through the first couple of weeks of the season. Again, averaging over 24 yards a catch. I do not think he's going to reach that 3,000-yard mark receiving. I'm just going out on a limb here.
That is crazy. Those are numbers off the charts. Hey, you never know. Zach Medeiros, former Western Mustang kicker. Hunting now for the Red Blacks. Dangerous one. Finch made the miss. It's a no yards call. Guy battles away against some of his ex-teammates. 43-yard kick. Friday Night Football. 6-0 Red Blacks.
This is perfect.
Yeah, looks pretty good to me, man. Let's take her down.
Hey, Kate and Natasha.
Well, hey, guys.
Hey, Lumberjoes.
Hey, we're about to chop down this year's touchdown log for the coming season. You guys want to help?
Help? We want to do it!
Good job, guys. Now we just got to get this TV place.
I think we got that covered.
Oh, there they were, Natasha Staniszewski and Kate Burness, revving the crowd up before the game, getting a chance to become part of the Algonquin Logger sports team. The Loggers, old lefty Burness. Be careful with those socks. Great night for them here tonight. Great night for all of us to be watching some great Canadian football. Bo Mitchell, pump fake, throws it up for a jump ball, far corner. Pruneau down there again with Forrest Hightower.
Ottawa doing a nice job collapsing the pocket, getting a little bit of heat on Bo Levi Mitchell, who's essentially just looking for a throwaway here.
Ottawa defense that really upped its game last year under defensive coordinator Mark Nelson. Had some personnel changes in the offseason, but they continue to stop a lot of players in their tracks, like Joe West. Flag on that far side. You saw right at the catch. It looks like it's going against Ottawa here. Bo Mitchell signaling that it will stay with the Stamps.
Illegal contact on receiver. Ottawa, number 24. 10-yard penalty. First down, Calgary.
So first down to the Ottawa 35-yard line. Calgary's first down.
And keep an eye on the inside, the halfback. Jarrell Gavin's working against Bakari Grant. Rides him past that 5 yards. Illegal contact call on the play.
Torrey Harrison grabs the mail in the backfield, in place of Jerome Messon.
When you look at this Ottawa defensive line, 4 new starters from what we saw at the end of last season, combination of free agent departures, injuries, etc. Doing a good job. Connor Williams back in at D-tackle after missing all of last season due to injury. Zach Evans seeing a little more time after a breakout 2015 for him.
Mitchell has his man, and they have a touchdown. Marquay McDaniel on a go route. Mitchell hit him with a strike. And as Bo Mitchell calls him, a great security blanket. Marquay McDaniel takes it to the end zone, his second touchdown of the season.
Ottawa's DBs were up pressing at the line of scrimmage. We'll see in a minute how Marquay McDaniel got a great release. Solid job at the line of scrimmage.
And that straight arm at the end, Jermaine Robinson took offense to. A little tussle in the end zone. Point after is also wide. Rene Paredes is now 3 of 6 on 1-point converts this season. 4 of 7 on field goals, and he's struggling out of the chute. This guy is not. Marquay McDaniel coming off a 1,000-yard season. He and Mitchell hook up here. 35-yard touchdown.
And you've got 3 one-on-one matchups. Marquay McDaniel is a number 3 receiver. He's going to get a great outside release here on Antoine Pruneau. Again, you see all the DBs up close to the line of scrimmage, but they're not getting hands-on. Gets a clean release. Help over the top is late. Shot on a line from Bo Levi Mitchell. Hits him in stride for the score.
Don't think we're going to see the last of that one. What do you think, Dwayne? Robinson and McDaniel.
No doubt.
You don't see Marquay McDaniel into too many of those, by the way. He's not the most talkative. It doesn't have a lot of swagger. He just gets things done. Here's the kick. Here's Tristan Jackson. 6-6 score here. 2 touchdowns unconverted. Under 4 to go in the opening quarter here tonight. The Ottawa REDBLACKS home opener. 32-yard return for the newest REDBLACK, Tristan Jackson.
And Trevor Harris looking to go back to work. Quick start once again for these REDBLACKS. Been a big play offense. This has been talked about a lot through the season's first few weeks. Instant chemistry between Harris and Chris Williams. Connected for touchdowns in their first 2 completions together.
Harris looks one way, then over the top. Safety valve was Ellingston. Greg Ellingston already hauling in 4 catches so far tonight. 12-yard pickup.
As you said, Ellingston's the check down guy here. You got a great look at the eyes and shoulders of Trevor Harris. He's looking out to that left side first. Things are covered up, but he knows exactly where Ellingston is going to be as his outlet on that particular pattern.
Trevor Harris will send out 6 receivers. Zips one in. To Brad Sinopoli, last year's most outstanding Canadian. He used to play quarterback here in Ottawa at the University of Ottawa GGs.
And the thing that really jumps off the page at you, aside from the fact that, as you said, this was done in a game and a half, essentially, but that completion percentage, remarkable accuracy thus far.
All-time record for his season is 77.2%, set by Ricky Ray back in 2013. Penalty flag flies. Nick Grigsby just the latest in a long line of running backs. They've had more running backs.
63. 10-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
Through Ottawa in the last couple of years than some people have pairs of socks. It has been crazy. And it's all due to injury. There's the penalty. So 2nd down and 12 now. Harris stays in the pocket. It's swallowed and it's picked up. It looks like by the Calgary Stampeders. Micah Johnson has it after the pocket collapsed and Harris fumbled the football.
Well, Charleston Hughes still had a man on him. You're going to see Hughes come from his defensive end position. He's still got a man blocking him, but he manages to get his inside arm free as he's close enough to Harris to swat that ball loose. You see the tackle, Jake Silas, still holding on. The veteran defensive end lunges, gets a piece of that ball as he grabs for the quarterback.
So first turnover of the game induced by Charleston Hughes. Micah Johnson recovers the fumble. Play action here, and Jerome Messam bucket down, driving forward. The freight train picks up 8 yards.
Delayed handoff there to Messam after the cross motion from Marquay McDaniel. You heard the fellows in the studio allude to this in the pregame. What a great late season acquisition Jerome Messam has been for the Calgary Stampeders. Veteran, highly productive veteran Canadian to replace John Cornish, keep the ratio intact.
And of course, Jerome Messam replacing a guy who has been the best running back in the Canadian Football League over the last 4 or 5 years in John Cornish.
The Calgary Stampeders knew they had down the stretch last year. I mean, you replace a guy in John Cornish, who is obviously a perennial candidate and frequent winner of the league's Most Outstanding Canadian Award. You replace him with Jerome Messam, the 2011 Most Outstanding Canadian. He's been a 1,000-yard rusher in this league. When he is on, he is absolutely one of the best in the business.
1st and 10 again. Mitchell up high. Too high for Joe West on the far side. And Jerome Messam, the 31-year-old out of Brampton, 6'3", 245. And you saw the numbers, yards from scrimmage last season, second only to Andrew Harris. And big week last week against Winnipeg. A Shaw top performer, 137 yards on the turf. Here's 2nd and 10. There's the rush out of the backfield. It's Messam. Messam with a penalty flag down. He's short of the first down. We have flags everywhere, as a matter of fact. Dave Dickinson coming off his first
offside.
win.
Calgary, number 81. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
So it'll be 2nd down and 15 now as Bakari Grant had a head start.
Well, Dave Dickinson, of course, a Hall of Famer as a quarterback in this league in 2000. The league's most outstanding player. Grey Cup champion, both Calgary and BC. One of those guys that you always had a sense that when he was done playing, he'd find his way into the coaching profession.
And he has. Barring penalty, final play, first quarter. Back and forth, first quarter. That one's on the turf. A one-hopper. Messam, who has not caught a pass yet this season out of the backfield, was salivating, waiting for that one. But Bo Mitchell couldn't get it to him. So some similarities in that first quarter. Both offenses score, throwing touchdown passes. And both teams missed their one-point convert. 6-6. Red Blacks and White Horses on Friday Night Football. Taking a look at the numbers after one quarter of Friday Night Football. It's Ottawa. Red Blacks leading in passing yards, total yards, and right now the score tied 6-6. Williams and McDaniel with the touchdowns. Well, last time the Ottawa Red Blacks played, there was quite an incident. In fact, it made headlines right around the sports world in North America. The infamous bumping incident now with Duron Carter after the touchdown. Carter, of course, has been suspended for one game, appealing that with the CFLPA. And there was some discipline as well for the Ottawa head coach, Rick Campbell.
Yeah, and of course that occurred right after this touchdown. Duron Campbell takes a big hit. I think probably every CFL fan has seen it by now. Contact between the two on the sidelines.
There's been a lot of chatter about it since that time. Rene Paredes has hooked that badly. Kristen Jackson will take the knee. And 1 point on the board, but Rene Paredes now just 4 of 8 in the new season. This was Rick Campbell's reaction after learning about the fine.
I'm disappointed in the message it sends, and the message to me that I got is if someone is out of the blue, unprovoked, and is abnormally aggressive towards your bench, which it doesn't happen very often. In fact, I haven't had it happen to me before, but when that happens in the heat of the moment, in a split second, when I was looking at the scoreboard, make sure you behave correctly because they're going to blame you too.
Well, there has been some blame heaped on Campbell, a lot on Duron Carter as well. An unfortunate incident. I think you might have said the best word possible last week, avoidable. However, it did happen, so they've had to deal with it.
5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm glad that the league dealt with it relatively swiftly, relatively decisively. Obviously, there will be some time with the appeal, but I think to varying degrees, both men accept some blame. I mean, if they avoid each other, we're not having this conversation right now. We can just talk about football.
Well, it'll make it very interesting the next time those two teams meet in August. Trevor Harris continues his high percentage and once again continues it with his favorite target tonight, Greg Ellingson. 5th catch for Ellingson. 16-yarder this time, Dwayne.
Lead man in that stack look with Chris Williams. Williams with the deep route clears things out. Ellingson goes to work underneath. Did a nice job after the catch there as well.
Harris throwing again. Out of the backfield is Grigsby. Slices one way and has about 9 yards, very close to another first down, maybe 8 for Grigsby.
Well, Rod, you mentioned the situation for Ottawa at running back. Nick Grigsby, the latest in a long line there. It just seems like from day one, this team has struggled to keep their running backs healthy.
And they've all been quality, elite running backs, by the way.
Yeah, going back, I mean, you think about Siobhan Walker, Jonathan Williams a couple of years ago, came in and did well when Walker was hurt. Jeremiah Johnson. William Powell injured in the preseason this year. Trayvon Van comes in for him and gets hurt. We'll have a look at his injury right here.
Just bad luck in so many ways.
I mean, all completely fluky things, but it's been a revolving door at that spot through their 2+ year existence.
The great irony is this is a team that doesn't run the football very much. That stealth-like core of receivers. Chris Williams catches and is gone down the sideline. Goodbye! Touchdown! Speed kills. And he's done it again. Chris Williams along the sideline, so close to the white on the sideline. But the Chris Williams show continues.
Well, and it's not just about speed, but for me, it's about acceleration. How quickly Chris Williams got to top speed in that situation. Fred Bennett looks like he's in a good position. And in a matter of a couple of steps, you see him just staying in bounds there. Chris Williams has outrun Fred Bennett's angle on him.
He's now on target for 4,000 yards on the receiving season. I mean, you're saying that's impossible. Chris Williams, 5-play, 75-yard drive, has his 2nd touchdown of the night, his 5th of the new season. He may not be done yet here tonight. Williams, 5 catches, 79 yards, a pair of majors. Chris Milo, another convert, goes wide. Not a good night for the kickers, but a great night for this guy. Man, can he fly. His OC called it best. Wow. Chris Williams, and you said it, acceleration.
Well, and you get him isolated, right? He's by himself, only receiver to the wide side of the field, which also means there's not a lot of help. It's one-on-one with Fred Bennett out there, and you saw Williams after he catches that ball. 6 strides, and he's at full speed. He's beaten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and he's around him. He's beaten the angle.
Well, his quarterback said he's by far the fastest guy he's ever played with or against. And he's shown it so far this early season. Well, the raindrops are falling now here in Ottawa. The Redblacks pouring it on here. 12-7. Early 2nd quarter. Big kick. And Roy Finch. Well, I guess that's as good as the convert that was missed.
Yes, sir. 0 on the converts tonight.
Both kickers. Seems like one of those games, though, back and forth here. Slugfest offensively. Don't you get a sense of that?
Yeah, there's certainly that potential. You've got some coaches that know each other fairly well. Obviously, Rick Campbell, having spent some time on that Calgary staff with Dave Dickinson, they have an idea philosophically of where each other are coming from.
Dave Dickinson chatting with the officiating crew. There's Rick Campbell with the Stampeders, of course. DC back in 2012. That's up for grabs, and it's caught. Picked off. Batted football and an interception. There is the batter.
Well, Connor Williams from his defensive tackle spot is the man who got a hand on that as he loops inside to that gap. Right hand tips it up.
David Hines comes up with the leftovers. Diving snag for the interception.
Hey, Connor! Hey, Connor, baby, come here!
Did not have an interception last season. His first with the Ottawa REDBLACKS. Oh, he's got a souvenir right now. Harris turns, fires! Sinopoli can't snare that one in tight coverage with Brandon Smith.
But it was one where if you want to nitpick in terms of accuracy and the way Trevor Harris has been throwing the ball, there sure isn't much you can find fault with. Maybe a few inches further out in front. So Sinopoli is continuing forward a little bit more, and the defender doesn't have quite as much of an impact.
Operating at a high percentage here. There's another crossing pattern to Jake Hardy. Former Calgary Dino has his third catch as an Ottawa Black. What about the clinic Trevor Harris is putting on here?
Just picking them apart. Now Hardy selected in last year's draft. Just scrapes underneath. Nice misdirection with the look off from the quarterback as well as the pause by Hardy. Comes a forgotten man running from one side of coverage to the other.
Play action again, looking Sinopoli's way. Harris now throws. End zone. Back toss, picked off by Tommy Campbell. First interception for the Calgary Stampeders in 2016, and the first CFL interception for Tommy Campbell. One that Trevor Harris would love to have back on Friday Night Football. Header Friday Night Football.
And you'll see as this play turns into a little bit of a scramble, Tommy Campbell stays with Greg Ellingson all the way across the field. He's in that hip pocket. As Trevor Harris in that split second thinks he's got Ellingson in the end zone. Campbell makes his break. First interception of his CFL career.
Guy who was a janitor a few years ago. Kari Grant has his second catch as a Stampeder. There's Tommy Campbell working as a janitor in the Pittsburgh International Airport. Got a second chance at football. Made good on it. Not to the NFL, and now he's back here, and people compare him to a Patrick Watkins, a Brandon Browner. He's got the same body type, and already a pick in his third game in the CFL.
And if I'm not mistaken, Tommy Campbell had a brief stop at Edinburgh before finishing up at Cal Penn.
You think he might know a little bit about the quarterback from Edinburgh who had happened
Perhaps.
to be
one Trevor Harris.
So where this ball is spotted, it looks like it's going to be spotted.
Calgary, number 60.
Well, that's not going to
5-yard
matter
penalty.
now.
Remains second down.
It'll be second down. They'll take it back 5. It'll be a throwing down again for the Stamps. Calgary team that finished 14-4 last year, lost in the West Final to Edmonton. Dickinson at that time was their offensive coordinator, as he's been the last couple of years. John Huffnagel, head coach. Passing of the torch to Dickinson now. Mitchell sends out his guys. Sends the football to Anthony Parker, who lunges forward. The spot is going to be short of the first down, but certainly attainable on third down here. They're going to stay on the field and go for this.
Protection on the quick hitter. The open field tackle by Hightower prevents that one from going for a big game.
They line up here. Mitchell trying to take the ball away from him. Maso Munoz a little aggressive, and he's going to get flagged for that. Stuff away from the play. Could be unnecessary roughness here.
Well, Mitchell delayed his lunge forward on one side, and delaying his lunge from the other side was Munoz.
Could have been disastrous for the Stampeders. As it turns out, it's likely going to be a first down after a penalty here.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Ottawa, number 14. 15 yards from the end of the play, automatic first down.
And away from the play, Abdul Kane got into it.
Right in the middle, you see where Munoz gave an extra shot, and then the pushing in behind involving Kane and I believe Markway McDaniel.
Moves the ball to the 51-yard line of the Stampeders. They'll play action. Messam turning those legs of his. Minimal gain, 2 or 3. There's Munoz once more. Maso Munoz, coming off a monster season last year, led the Red Blacks in tackles with 74 and a pick and 4 sacks. Really has become the anchor of that linebacking trio.
Yeah, this is a guy who's played most of his career at the weak side linebacker spot. He was a safety in college. But as you said, he's become a fixture in the middle for the Red Blacks over the last year or so.
Mitchell hangs in. Joe West, crossing pattern, has the first down. It looks like they might spot it a little bit shy of that. Antoine Pruneau and Munoz there to make the tackles. And it looks like it's close to moving the marker. Mitchell goes timber at the end. Matt Acree. It is going to be third down. And he's got that. And again, it's Munoz spying Bo Mitchell, trying to get that ball away, but the whistle had blown. What do you think of Calgary in the offseason as well? And they made some changes, obviously, as head coach, but losing a couple of key receivers who've gone down south, and Eric Rogers, who had like an MVP season almost last year, and Cam Fuller as well. Missing those guys, trying to replace them with the personnel they have now.
Yeah, one of the things that Calgary has historically done very well, obviously, particularly in the time John Huffnagel's regime since '08, is they've built a lot of depth within the organization. They've done a good job replacing their losses every offseason.
Missing Jeff Fuller, and also trying to replace Eric Rogers. Not easy. There's Messam going up the middle, but
holding.
A holding
Calgary,
call.
Number 58. 10-yard penalty. Remains first down.
That one's going to go against the center, Cam Thorne.
Took away a good gain by Messam. Six minutes to go before halftime tonight in Ottawa. First and 20. Near side. Hightower right there to stop Anthony Parker. Did not get to the initial line of scrimmage. Only 8 yards on that throw.
And it's just a reminder of the size of this field, 65 yards wide, and when you're throwing out to the wide side, the defensive back has so much time to close. In that case, Hightower had given Parker plenty of room, knowing he'd have time to react if the ball came his way.
Second down and 12 now from the Ottawa 51. Mitchell with time out of the backfield. Messam, high hurdle. And only gets to the 45, and the Stampeders will bring out Rob Maver in the kick team. Have to punt it back to the Red Blacks, who lead 13-7 here.
Dave Dickinson Bo Levi Mitchell and that Calgary offense. In a little bit of trouble getting completely untracked here in the first half.
Maver's so adept at the coffin corner kick, and this one is almost perfect. It is perfect. Coffin corner. Rob Maver. Coming up at halftime in 4 minutes and 52 seconds, our GMC Precision Playbook. Suits tonight on press coverage. Guy who used to play safety in the CFL, one of our TSN analysts, he and CC, Chris Cuthbert, in Edmonton tonight. The Rough Riders and Eskimos after this one. Great kick by Rob Maver. 109-yard field for the Red Blacks here. Grigsby gets the carry. 6-yard gain.
Well, we talk all the time about the importance of special teams play in a 3-down game, particularly the role of that punter. Again, another part of the game impacted by the width of the field. And we've got a punter who can do that kind of job directionally, completely swing the field.
Harris swinging it out to Williams. Having a huge night already, and we're not even at halftime. And that gets them out of a big hole. 16-yard connection. Trevor Harris once again to number 80, Chris Williams.
Well, and, you know, people sit and watch at home and probably figure, well, why don't they roll coverage to Chris Williams' side, get some help over there, load things up to shut this guy down. He's been the big playmaker, but you know, you're quickly reminded this receiving core.
You've got 5 of them.
Yeah, I mean, 3 other guys in this receiving core went over 1,000 yards last year. And if you're loading things up to cover Chris Williams, you still got to deal with Ernest Jackson, Greg Ellingson, who's been busy tonight already, Brad Sinopoli. You know, Jake Hardy chipping in with a big catch as well tonight.
Treasure chest of receivers for Trevor Harris, and of course Henry Burris, most outstanding player in the CFL last year. Long throw, perfect on the numbers once again for Hardy. Jeff Hecht, former St. Mary's Husky, with the tackle.
Well, Jake Hardy, University of Calgary product, his second grab of the game.
When we come back, it'll be kick time for the Red Blacks. 3-minute warning before halftime on the field.
Rod and the guys back in the studio getting set for halftime. They'll talk about this game, look ahead to the Riders Eskimos, the GMC playbook, also a special announcement concerning Kraft Heinz Project Play. It's all in the cards. 3 minutes away. Back to Rod and Dwayne.
All right, thank you, Rod Smith. So after the Rob Maver punt, Red Blacks are able to get out of a jam, but they still have to kick it back. Zach Medeiros looking Roy Finch. There's a penalty flag down. A lot of slick moves from Finch. There's a penalty flag back at the 35-yard line. Wind starting to pick up there. You saw that in that kick that time from Medeiros. Wind going from the east, starting to pick up here after that little rainfall we had. Might affect this game later.
On the return, illegal block, Calgary, number 27. It's a 10-yard penalty. First down, Calgary.
Well, there's one of the reasons that Finch got some running room and was sprung. And an injured Red Black, and that's cornerback Jonathan Rose.
Keep an eye on Rose. As one of his teammates coming downfield. Full speed, watch the helmet.
Oh. And he's up. All new episodes of the show critics call terrific, sexy, and as engaging as Dwayne Ford. Suits returns Wednesday, July 13th on Bravo. 2:40 to go before halftime. Compelling matchup here tonight. Two gunslinging quarterbacks. 13-7 game. Ball's been in the air a lot. Joe West snags it on the far side, half the first down yardage. Stamps looking to operate against the wind here and cut into this lead, possibly even take the lead into the locker room. Calgary lost the first game of the season. BC rebounded last week with a huge win over Winnipeg. We'll have the week off next week. Bye week. Off his back foot. Bad pass by Mitchell. Simon Charbonneau-Kempo. So Ottawa will get this back, and Maver will kick it away, and this is into the breeze. So the Red Blacks can add to the lead. Adds to the frustration right now of Dave Dickinson.
That's interesting when you look at the exchange of punts, Rod, and we talked about Maver's last punt and that ability to flip the field, pinning Ottawa deep, but with a couple of first downs coming out of their own end. Good kick, penalty, etc. Ottawa is right back to having the edge in that field position battle.
Well, there's Chris Williams. We talked about the unbelievable pace he is on. Even his teammate Brad Sinopoli says he's a fan.
It's actually crazy to think about. You know, it's crazy. It's one thing to see it on the field, and you keep seeing him rack up these big plays, and you kind of think, you know, wow, he's doing it. And then you look at his stats and what he's been able to do. You know, it's unbelievable. But I think we all kind of knew that he has that potential. You know, he's so fast and he's such a good route runner. Even if you double team him, he's hard to cover.
No doubt. Keep it on the ground here. There he is. Williams tonight, 2 touchdowns in the first half. Electric. 95 yards, 6 catches. And if you see this guy without football pads on, it looks like a ball boy. He is an explosive player. The true stars in the game. Harris is wrapped up, and he is sacked by Charleston Hughes. Charleston has his second of the season. Now second all-time on the Calgary hit list for sacks. 74 career sacks. Moving closer to Will Johnson.
Watch for a spin move here. Starting off on that outside rush, you see with just 3 on the line. Textbook. Beating Silas, first-year starter, to the inside with that.
Stamps will get it back again. Quick 2 and out. Good kick from Medeiros. Finch in the coffin corner. What a move there. And another. And Roy Finch comes back to the city where he once played. Only a few games. And the Stamps will come back with their offense. Moving closer to halftime, the boys. Jocko, Maddie, and Rod Smith standing by. Look at the first half here. Look ahead to Chris Jones' return tonight in Edmonton. There he is. Native of Saginaw, Michigan. Guy who's seen his seasons cut short the last couple of years with injuries, but one of the very best rush ends in the CFL. Play action. Boy, they sold that nicely. Marquay McDaniel getting out of bounds. Play action to Messam. Red Blacks bit in the middle, and McDaniel had a lot of running room.
Everything wide open here. You're going to see McDaniel motions into the formation. Gets that half step. Pernod gets picked off by what we'll call a rub route just outside of him. And that's what sprung Marquay McDaniel in the flat.
Penalty flag. West Makes one miss, and then a little shake on the far sideline, gained a few extra yards, down to 117. So they're managing the clock well here. And we'll see what the call is from
offside. Ottawa, number 14. Penalty is declined. First down.
Abdul Kane.
Kane crept up from his halfback spot close to the line of scrimmage to press his receiver, but found himself in the neutral zone when that ball was snapped.
Getting it into range for Rene Paredes, or maybe even get close to that end zone. Jerome Messam tripped up, and there's his first reception of 2016 out of the backfield. Only took up 5 seconds. Second down now. Lots of time here for the Stampeders to score before the half.
Well, nice job getting that ball right out into the flat. They had pressure. Halfback blitz came from that side. They dumped it into the spot vacated by the DB.
There's another play action toss. That play's working well. Over to McDaniel. Third catch now. 62 yards on the night, including a touchdown for M&M. First and 10, Stamps. The Ottawa 44. The 6-year-old Bo Levi Mitchell out of Katy, Texas. Eastern Washington University. Flag down. Bakari Grant down to the 20-yard line. Flag was on the near side of the field, right near the line of scrimmage, actually both sides. And it's going against the Stamps, it looks like. Bring that play back.
Offside. Calgary, number 87. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Dave Dickinson is not happy about that. And that was way offside. Good call. The officiating crew. I think Dickinson was more unhappy with his players than he was the refs there. First and 15. Near side McDaniel again. A couple of years ago, this guy was automatic. Set a record for consecutive field goals at an amazing percentage, an all-star. Standing special teams player, but it's been a slow start to the new season. Rene Paredes. Trying to get the first down is Mitchell. And he will. Lofts it into Parker. Right near the 32-yard line. Sticks will move again.
A pretty efficient drive here from Bo Levi Mitchell and the Calgary Stampeders. Managing that clock, obviously working the sidelines there. That will out and come back to Parker. Seen a number of passes getting out to the flat where they're able to get their receivers out of bounds and stop that clock.
Bo is 14 of 20 for 151. Touchdown pass and a pick. Once again out for McDaniel. Kind of ran into that collision over there.
Well, Hightower did a nice job. Anthony Parker was on him the whole way, but Hightower got on that inside shoulder and just kept fighting towards the receiver when he recognized the play.
Stamps take a timeout here with 29. They still have a couple of shots here. Certainly another one to move the sticks for a first down. 29 seconds. You can get 3 or 4 plays in if you use your clock right.
See Anthony Parker, the wide receiver, is trying to block that corner. He's trying to get him pinned inside, hoping that McDaniel will have enough room to bounce that to the outside. But Hightower closed down the gap so much, he took away McDaniel's space by the time the ball was caught.
Been a good first half of football between two of the powers, East and West. Two great young quarterbacks. REDBLACKS show 3, rush 3. Mitchell hangs in, pinpoint. again finds Bakari Grant. First down. 23 seconds to go. Only ate up 6 seconds. They'll quickly line up, though.
Tight window here. Jermaine Robinson, the free safety, is coming downhill in a hurry.
Mitchell to Grant again. Bakari Grant in Ottawa. His brother Robert used to play here. The Ottawa Renegades at one time. Former Hamilton Tiger Captain is really his first game as a starter for the Stampeders tonight. Penalty flag down.
Well, you think back, Bakari Grant, Chris Williams, remember Aaron Kelly, Gunray Jones arrived around the same time.
Ottawa, number 24, will go half the distance to the goal. First down, Calgary.
Those three rookie receivers, Grant, Kelly, and of course Williams, those were the guys that made Marquay McDaniel expendable in Calgary going back a few years.
Funny how that all works. Worked out well. Certainly for Williams, McDaniel, now Bakari Grant. Terrell Gabbins argues his case to no avail. 12 seconds now. Stamps have to be careful here. First and goal from the 8. Very loud TD Place Stadium. 10th play of this drive. Looking end zone. Mitchell, though, hauls it back. Time ticks down. West gets down. Fumbled football. Whistle blew. 2 seconds remain on the clock. And no time to go to the end zone for the Stampeders. They're going to bring out their kicker.
Yeah, nervous moments is with the initial coverage. Pressure that forced Bo Levi Mitchell to scramble. That clock was ticking.
Crowd's reacting to the replay.
Ruling on the field is the player was down by contact.
And we will take another look to see exactly when that ball does pop free. And again, because they didn't call it a fumble on the field, it's not automatically reviewed. If it had been called a turnover initially, the review would be automatic.
Down, somersaulted, so Paredes with a chippy. The final play of a entertaining first half of football. Lots of big plays, good defense, some missed kicks. But like these two teams play, close football. 13-10 as we send it to Rod and the boys in the studio.
Thank you, Rod, and a good late charge by the Stampeders to get right back in at 3 points back at the half. Welcome. And that's considering a fast start by the Ottawa REDBLACKS too, Jock Climby and Matt Dunnigan. Now, speaking of fast, how about Chris Williams? A fast start for a very fast player. First 3 games of the season. This is in record territory now. Williams at 458, and he's just 26 from catching and passing Alfred Jackson. Now, played with Matt Dunnigan in Winnipeg back in 1994. He had 483 yards in 3 games. But how about Williams and Trevor Harris in that Ottawa offense?
Yeah, you know, they're just special. And you talk about fast starts, Rod, they actually get after it. And, you know, I'm going to tell you, you got to have a quarterback to have this ability. Run the ISO, everybody runs it. You're reading Charleston Hughes, defensive end. He's got 2 responsibilities, to run and contain. Trevor drops his arm angle, darts it out to another one of his weapons, Ellingson. And then here's what speed does for you, and this is why he's off to such a great start. Respect. Respect the speed. 10 yards, DB drops another 4.5, 5 yards, and this is too easy with 24 yards to work with from hash to boundary. That's pitch and catch all day, and that is just nothing but respect for speed. And then here, man coverage you're going to get, so they're going to bring Chris Williams over, gives the quarterback a little indication what he's got. DB loses sight of Chris Williams for some ungodly reason, and then it's a race to the corner, and he's not winning this. He takes one false step, and it's lights out. Chris Williams is in the end zone. This is what happens with speed, Jocko, and I know what Trevor Harris is loving this because I had Raghav Ishmael, one of the fastest guys ever play in this league. Marcus Grant, another guy in Birmingham, flat out burn it, take tops off of defenses, put the fear of God in DBs.
And he's learned how to run routes. I mean, it's been fun to watch him this year. He's a much better route runner than he was. Listen, I want to talk a little bit about the Calgary Stampeders because they've obviously got some skilled guys too. And you know what? It's about taking advantage oftentimes about matchups, about understanding and reading defenses. And Bo Levi Mitchell, for a relatively young quarterback, does it very well. And just have a look at what he sees right now. Down at the bottom, in the short side of the field, he sees bump and run across across the board. And what's he thinking right now? He's thinking, well, hey, Ottawa's got some great defensive back, but Antoine Pruneau, he's kind of he's a tweener. If I'm going to have one-on-one matchups with Mark McDaniel against Pruneau playing bump and run, I like that every time. So what's he do? Goes right after him. And right now, Pruneau's done. He's done right as a receiver. Mark McDaniel in his head right now says this is a touchdown. But look at the separation he's got. Pruneau is flat-footed, and Mitchell sees it, and there's no question where this ball is going. Pruneau is much better at just that turning and running with guys as opposed to trying to jam them. Because if you do not get momentum stopped in the bump run coverage, it's done. And that's what happened there, touchdown.
Okay, 13-10 for the Ottawa REDBLACKS. When we come back, we're going to talk about part 2 of the doubleheader. Chris Jones and the Riders against his old team, the Edmonton Eskimos. Friday Night Football doubleheader here on TSN.
Calgary Stampeders, Ottawa REDBLACKS, the home opener. Williams can waltz. Touchdown. Slicing and dicing. Chris Williams catches and is gone down the sideline. Goodbye. Touchdown. And he's done it again. The Chris Williams show continues.
I'd light it up again. He's 26 yards away from the quickest start after 3 games in CFL history. Another guy's chasing records is Bo Levi Mitchell. 18th straight football game with a touchdown pass, tying Kahari Jones.
And here is Trevor Harris now in conversation with Brent Wallace.
Trevor used 6 different receivers in the first half, over 200 yards. Are you happy with the way the offense moved the ball?
Early, I thought we got in a nice rhythm. We just got to continue. This is a good defense, though. They've got a nice scheme, and they have good players, and so we've got to really figure out some stuff to do in the second half.
Once again, though, it seems you continue to figure out the way you and Chris Williams work out there. Is there something special with the way you two have been able to work?
Yeah, he's really good, and that's really about it.
What about the way Nick Grigsby's come in and played his first game here?
He's done a great job in protection. He's come in and run the ball well. He's done exactly what we've needed him to do, and we're lucky to have him.
Thanks, Trevor.
Yes, sir.
Before we go to the second half, I want to talk about some sad news we got in the football world this week with the passing of Doug Hargreaves, one of the great coaches in the history of Canadian university football, nearly 2 decades at Queen's University. I had the pleasure to be coached by Doug, and so too did Jock Climby, who was a star there in the late 80s. I'll let you go first on what Doug Hargreaves meant to you, your career as a man, as a coach.
Yeah, you know, I'd say without a doubt that he meant more to me than any coach that I've ever had. Doug Hargreaves was one of those coaches who believed in shaping men. Yeah, he did X's and O's, and he loved the game of football, but he was more interested in you as a person, right, growing, developing as a man. And, you know, he had so many great sayings and so many great teachings. Be flexible and have a sense of humor.
That was the best.
Was his best. And it took me years later to realize what he meant by that. And I'm trying to teach that to my children, too, because being flexible is just don't be rigid in your ways and have a sense of humor. He was all about that. Win or lose, if you're doing well in school or not, you're doing well on the football field, you've got to find ways to laugh about it. And, you know, Doug's was ill for quite some time, but so many football players who played under Doug, as you and I did, are talking about him, thinking about him, and we're fortunate in this country to have lots of great coaches like him across the country, but Doug will be very greatly missed.
He did have a good sense of humor. He also strived for perfection. He used to like to talk about that, but you're right. Football mattered to Doug Hargreaves, but even more so the student-athlete, the person that mattered above all else. Our deepest sympathies to the family of Doug Hargreaves. In Ottawa, it is the REDBLACKS leading the Calgary Stampeders. A couple of touchdowns for Chris Williams. Close game, though. Late field goal at the end of the half. 13-10 Ottawa. Second half kickoff is coming up.
It's Friday Night Football. Yeah! Boys are all here, gonna put on a show.
Quite a show so far. Lights are on now at TD Place Stadium. Friday night lights, Friday night football. 13-10 score. Ottawa and the Stampeders. Calgary trying to get to 2-1. REDBLACKS looking to go to 3-0. Slugfest back and forth. Good offensive football. A lot of flow in the first half.
Yeah, certainly was. Both teams putting together some good drives despite the fact that the score has remained relatively low in this one. thing to keep an eye on is the obvious big play potential of both these teams. Chris Williams has already demonstrated that for Ottawa. A number of guys capable. Marquay McDaniel, Bakari Grant among them for the Calgary Stampeders.
Mitchell versus Harris. Had that last year, but Trevor Harris was a member of the Argos. Now here in Ottawa, and could there have been a better signing in the free agent frenzy that became the Canadian Football League than the Ottawa REDBLACKS going out and getting Trevor Harris, a signing that was questioned by some at the beginning?
Well, timing is absolutely everything. And when you look for Ottawa, I think most people would consider, had Henry Burris missed a start in the last couple of years, it would have been somewhat disastrous for the REDBLACKS as a team. This year they decide to go out, they get an experienced guy behind him, they put that succession plan in place, and it just so happens that Henry Burris ends up getting injured and having to miss a start or series of starts due to injury for the first time in 9 years.
He was one of the most durable. I think maybe that's why people questioned it, because of Henry's durability, but who would have thought first game he would go down with that damaged pinky. Look at the numbers for Harris first half. 18 of 21 to 21. He continues here in the second, goes over to one of his favorite targets. Chris Williams makes another catch here, close to 100 yards receiving already. There's Henry Burris charting and also mentoring at halftime.
Yeah, Henry Burris, despite the fact that he is not playing, his role as a leader, as you said, as a mentor to the other quarterbacks on this team, does not change.
41-year-old Henry Burris says he's not done yet by any stretch. The funny thing about Henry is you look at him there and you see him on the sideline, you watch him play. He has such passion about the game, about life itself. You wonder about the next chapter. Would it be in coaching, or does he want to sink to the lowest common denominator and do what we do in television, because he does host a morning show here in Ottawa?
Yeah, he had a great time in the offseason. I know he actually loved doing morning television, but...
And he'd be great at it.
Yeah, oh, no question. I think Henry's one of those guys who's going to be great whatever he chooses to do.
And even though Trevor Harris is the guy right now, Rick Campbell has said this is still Henry's football team.
Well, let's not forget, I mean, Trevor Harris has created a pretty great distraction with his performance through these first few weeks of the 2016 season. But Henry Burris is the league's reigning MOP.
Remarkable year last year. Turn back time. Harris, though, enjoying these receivers that he has in. They can't catch Chris Williams, and they can't haul him down by the jersey either. Another first down. Harris and Williams, such great chemistry.
Well, I love what Fred Bennett, who's the corner out in coverage on this one, did. Remember, he got beaten to the outside after the catch by Williams before, so he knows he's making a beeline to close that gap on him, make sure he gets hands on right away, getting enough to at least slow him down until the rest of the posse can get there.
A lot of game left here tonight. He's got 8 catches, 116 yards. The verge of a monster night. Harris now moves the pocket. And that was the guy he was looking at, the primary target the whole way. Right as soon as he got the ball, Greg Ellingson sprung a little bit later, 7-yard pickup.
Well, Ellingson's been busy. He just disappeared off the left edge of your screen, working to that sideline, and then coming back down towards his quarterback on the scramble. Here you'll see he sees his quarterback scrambling, got to come back and help him. Well executed.
We have a challenge on this play. And Dave Dickinson is throwing the challenge flag.
Whoops.
Saying that it might have been out of bounds.
Calgary is challenging the ruling on the field of a completed pass. We'll review the play.
Yeah, we'll watch the feet.
So we go to break. Here it is. They'll look at it. Very close. Might be a good challenge. We'll find out in a moment.
Dave Dickinson has thrown the challenge flag. Catch right along the sidelines by Greg Ellingson. He's in the air when he catches this ball. left foot is clearly out of bounds. We're trying to tell if his right foot drags.
The ruling on the field has been confirmed. It's a completed pass. Be second down.
See if the right foot drags just in bounds.
Video evidence may not have been absolutely conclusive. I mean, you see it here, but look at it. So close. That sideline, by the way, has been magical for Greg Ellingson, has it not? The miracle catch, of course, last November, East Final, to eliminate the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And unbelievably, Nick Grigsby is now hurt. He's getting up, though, and nothing is going to keep him away from this game. He goes to the sideline, but the curse of the running back in Ottawa continues.
Keenan LaFrance, University of Manitoba product, back in the ball game. We, of course, finished up last week when Trayvon Van was injured.
He has been very serviceable as a backup. Harris again rolls out. Now decides to turn the corner. Harris has a first down. Brought down by Deron Mayo, but a scamper of almost 14 yards.
I like the decision here by Trevor Harris. You think back to the first half when he got picked off by Tommy Campbell on a scramble to his right, trying to force a pass in there. Trevor Harris is a pass-first guy. Of course, he's got his eyes downfield the whole time. But I thought in that situation where he got picked off, he probably could have taken off with it and turned it into a positive play. This time he does. First down for the Red Blacks.
Williams uncharacteristically drops that one. Was thinking run before catch. Guess what? He's human. My bad, he says.
Chris Williams. If you saw the details with Derek Taylor last night, one of the things Chris Williams has done very well this year has in fact been holding on to the football, making some tough catches. His catch percentage relative to the number of times he's targeted way up compared to last season.
Delayed draw to LaFrance. And it will be third down. Chris Milo will come out. Hasn't been the best of nights for the kickers. Wind is swirling a little bit here tonight, though, and it's still up to about 17K an hour. Milo will have the breeze with him here on this kick. 35-yard line. Kick is up and boink. You hit the upright, you hit that goalpost, you get nothing. Nada. Harris the hold. Been a great night of football, except for the kickers. TSN Fantasy Football has returned. Register now at tsn.ca/CFL Fantasy for your chance to win a weekly Moores gift card or the grand prize, a Joseph Aboud wardrobe and a trip for two to the Grey Cup. Calgary ball at their 25. Bo Mitchell, pump and go. Joe West has it. Great toss by Bo Levi Mitchell.
Well, this is a nice adjustment to the football by Joe West. He ends up a little shaken up on this play. Good play action. Holds that rush. Ball thrown to the outside. Nice job tracking it by West.
Forrest Hightower in coverage. See by the eyes, and Hightower is down. And stayed down after the play here. Got up slowly. Looked like Joe West for a moment got the worst of that, and then Hightower goes down. Might be in his back or neck area. Looks like they're working on the lower back. Kind of twisted awkwardly, did he not? Joe West also down. So both players in that one-on-one. Really no collision on the play. Just got tangled up. And they're both being worked on. We'll step aside and come back to TD Place Stadium in Ottawa. Such an interesting one-on-one battle. No real collision taking place, but both players stretching awkwardly, and Joe West going to the locker room. And Forrest Hightower looks like he's okay. It's off the bike. We get back to action here for that great catch by West for 36 yards. 1st and 10 from the 49. Torrey Harrison back in the backfield. May have lost a yard. Arnaud Gascon-Nadon.
Free agent signee from the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Former star with Laval Rougeau.
And a guy who could have spoiled that Greg Ellingson party last year here in Ottawa.
Yeah, had a chance for an interception on the previous play from his defensive end spot.
Dynamic young man, great guy to talk to.
Absolutely great sense of humor.
Very good football player. 4-man rush for the REDBLACKS. Mitchell now darts one over the top. And that is caught, and looks like it's close to a first down. Juwan Briskason.
Briskason, 2nd-round pick for the Stampeders this season. Out of Northern Illinois, native of Mississauga, Ontario.
That is his first CFL catch. Getting in because of Joe West going down. To the sidelines he goes. 3rd down inches. Andrew Buckley in at quarterback. The Canadian quarterback. Only need inches. That progress should have given him enough. Dino quarterback who a week ago joined Brandon Bridge as Canadian-born quarterbacks scoring touchdowns years and years after the last Canadian quarterback to do it.
Yeah, Buckley winning this number 3 job in Calgary. Guy who's been a Heck Crichton winner. Fittingly as a Canadian quarterback. Also Russ Jackson Award winner. Citizenship and community service among CIS football players.
Those of you watching in the States, the Heck Crichton Award is very similar to the Heisman Trophy in the United States. Best college player in Canadian university ball. Messam can't get sprung. Abdul Kane was there with the initial contact. 4-yard gain. Here's Andrew Buckley. Heck Crichton winner twice. And by the way, coincidentally on the sideline, another guy who also they called Heck for a while. Brad Sinopoli, a quarterback here in Ottawa. University football. Went to Calgary with the Stampeders, of course. Won a Grey Cup ring.
Yeah, spent a couple seasons as a quarterback with them, eventually deciding he had a better future at receiver.
Mitchell lays it out for Anthony Parker, another Calgary Dino. 3rd overall pick, 1st-round pick back in 2011. The Dinos are all over the Canadian Football League. Great program, University of Calgary. This very close. Was this caught? Yes, it was.
Got the elbows closed underneath that one.
1st and 10. Laying it out now for Messam. Oh, Messam. Said before the game, you and I were chatting, looking at the stats, and Messam putting up some big yardage, but had not caught a pass yet. They have utilized that now for Jerome Messam out of the backfield.
Well, they've looked to Messam a ton in the screen game tonight. One of their strategies to slow down that Ottawa pass rush.
2nd and 1 for Bo Mitchell. Had to get to the 14-yard line. There's Mark Nelson, a defensive coordinator. Been around the Canadian Football League.
And this is a guy who played in the CFL. He's coached in this league for a number of years. Coached at the Division I level.
Son in the NFL.
Number of years. Yeah, son Kyle, a long snapper. tight end, very good tight end in college.
So 1st and 10, Stamps. And they are going to take a timeout here, it looks like, because the play clock had come down to 0, and there was some confusion there.
Time count violation.
No, they took the time count violation,
Calgary,
saving their timeout.
5-yard penalty, remains first down.
5 yards back. It's still first down, but now 1st and 15. Personnel issue. That will make a coach, veteran or rookie coach, not too happy. Munoz rather. Mitchell shotgun. Harrison, pistol formation, goes nowhere. And right there was 45.
Calgary shuttling in different personnel packages. Going back to their base set. They had 2 fullbacks in the ball game. Doing a bit of a double tight kind of look. Now going back to their base 5-receiver set.
And long drives tonight on both sides of the ball. 10th play of the drive now from the 20. Mitchell with time and can't find a receiver. Looked like he was looking for Marquay McDaniel, who never got to the spot where the football landed. So again, it's up to Paredes. Daniel that close to having his 2nd touchdown of the night. There's his old quarterback, Henry Burris. Exchanging pleasantries on the sideline. Drew Tate comes in for the hold here. Paredes. And this one is right through. That's more like the Rene Paredes we know. Guess what? Tied up. New team, same story for Trevor Harris. Success. And his receivers following their leader.
He's been in the offense before, so he's very familiar with it. He's very sharp. He's a very smart guy, so it's great. He's calm too. I think that fits with us very well. We like to kind of have fun out there, and we play really loose. So for him to come in and just have that demeanor, it's been good. We try to get him laughing here and there with a couple jokes, but no, he's very focused. We'll put it that way.
Just come in there and say the play. I'm like, hey, this is what's going on, But they're like, hey, bud, slow it down here. What do you look at all these people in the crowd? I'm like, hey, man, we gotta go execute, So but they're a fun group to be around. They have a blast out there, and they make football fun.
Well, they make football fun because they're very good, and so is Trevor Harris. And as quiet as they may seem on the field, Trevor Harris is a bit of a character. Great interview.
Yeah, he really is. Very outgoing guy, and he's fit in seamlessly here in Ottawa, on and off the field.
Keenan LaFrancis in the backfield right now is Jake Hardy. And Trevor Harris trying to stretch this out, may have cramped up a little bit. Jake Hardy with the catch.
Well, you'll see Harris just after he gets rid of the ball here.
Yeah, that's a cramp. Muggy night here. Shake that off.
It's tough, in fact, darn near impossible to rehydrate once the cramps start, so that'll be something to keep an eye on through the rest of this 2nd half.
Quick drop this time. Deep throw for Williams. Can't run under it. Fred Bennett matching him stride for stride. So this time, Bennett wins.
And a straight go route. All the way allowing Bennett to just get on his horse and run.
Bennett saying that he might have been interfered with. Second and 10. Receivers in motion. Here's the rush. Harris steps up and flings it over to Keenan LaFrance, who goes nowhere. Teron Mayo gobbles him up after a 3-yard gain. And now Zach Medeiros has to come out and boot the ball back to the Calgary Stampeders with 2:19 to go in the third.
Charleston Hughes, who forced a fumble earlier in this game, looked like he came very close to chopping that one out of Trevor Harris's arms again, but this time Harris able to just flick it away before the contact came.
Roy Finch, former Red Blacks, had a couple of nice returns here. Look out now. There he goes. And Finch is brought down. Good return. Well, we talked about Trevor Harris and the kind of quiet guy to his teammates, but he does have a great, funny side. In fact, has some pretty drop-dead impressions, including of his defensive coordinator.
Coach Nelson, I think in rookie camp, he's like, man, it's great to have you here in Red Blacks uniform. But, you know, like it was, and, you know, so it was, that was, you know, obviously very cool to, you know, be, but it's, I'm just glad to be here. I'm glad to be a part of this organization. I'm very blessed to be here.
Anyone that's ever talked to Mark Nelson will tell you that's pretty much dead on.
Well, Mark Nelson does an impression of Nick Nolte. That's how it works. Mitchell, sideline. Parker can't hang on.
The rookie corner, Jonathan Rose, able to break that one up.
We saw Harris getting worked on the sideline. Looks like he's okay. So the Stamps now in this final 90 seconds against the wind here in the third quarter. Tie game, 13-all.
Not a lot of easy throws for Bo Levi Mitchell in this ballgame.
Rookie corner Jonathan Rose shadowing Anthony Parker. Second down. Lofts it up again. Bakari Grant watched by Abdul Kanay. Another incomplete pass.
But it looked like there may have been contact just before the ball arrived, but Bakari Grant doesn't seem to be protesting much.
Boy, oh boy. Last night we saw a couple of bang-bang challenges on a play similar to that. Might have been worth the challenge that time. Rob Maver. Penalty flag down once more. Well, I know 40, you're going to be flying back early tomorrow. CFL weekend is over. You're going to be watching Women's Championship. Serena Williams back in it tomorrow at Wimbledon. And then on Sunday, young man. How about that?
Canadian content.
Gotta love it. Milos Raonic, Andy Murray. Wimbledon final. John McEnroe as a coach is paying off so far for Milos Raonic. Knocked off Roger Federer. Semi-final. Illegal block. On that return. 35 seconds to go. Harris pulls it back on the play action. Greg Ellingson tiptoes down the sideline and gets a few extra yards. Those yak yards for Ellingson.
Well, this is where Ellingson has really excelled tonight. If you look back at a number of his catches, fighting through contact and so on, a guy who's not necessarily noted as a big after the catch guy has done a terrific job in that aspect of the game tonight.
Good news for the Red Blacks here. Nick Grigsby's back in the backfield. Out for a few plays. There goes Ellingson once more. Ellingson again, a former Ticat coming over, and last year all those receivers coming to Ottawa. Ellingson and Sinopoli, Jackson, after Chris Williams changed the complexion of their offense. Gave Henry Burris something to throw to. Now Trevor Harris benefiting. Good catch. What a catch by Brad Sinopoli on second down. A conversion on a circus catch. Final play, third quarter. REDBLACKS move the sticks. When they come back, they'll operate against the wind. Seesaw night here in Ottawa. 13-13, Friday Night Football. Well, this game not as high scoring as a year ago when these teams last met in Ottawa, 13-13, but just as close. It was last year when the REDBLACKS staged a furious comeback early in the season, coming off a 2-16 year, and they ended up winning in overtime. Kicker named Delbert Alvarado won the game for them. He's no longer around. But Rick Campbell's talked about that game against Calgary last year and how it turned the season, kind of the belief for the Ottawa REDBLACKS.
Yeah, one of the big things for Ottawa when you go back to their inaugural season in 2014, a number of times they were either leading or in close games going into the fourth quarter, and those games got away from them. Last year they learned how to win close games. Quite simply, that factor proved to be the difference between being at the bottom of the league and being at the top of the league. The ability to win in close battles.
And speaking of close battle, how about that catch by Sinopoli? Here's a pitch. And Nick Grigsby banged up, went to the sideline, looked after, and back out here now. Rumbles for 8. Well, that's what it took. I mean, it took personnel changes, obviously, and we're maybe seeing that with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Team that struggled last year. We saw it last night. Bomber team that was able to secure a win in a close game. And they also made a lot of changes in their offseason. So we'll see how it transpires for that team. Keenan LaFrance, big run. His biggest as a big leaguer.
Keenan LaFrance making the most of this opportunity here in his second CFL season. Making a couple of people miss right at that point of attack.
Star at Sturgeon Heights High School in Winnipeg, played some junior ball, then ended up with the Bisons and getting some time as featured tailback with injuries. Harris looking end zone. That was taken away. And that was almost taken away by the Stampeders. Taylor Reed was there. So an incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd down and 10 now. There's the former Hamilton Tiger Cat, Taylor Reed.
Over to Calgary in the offseason as a free agent. Placing the fixture, Juwan Simpson, in the middle of that Calgary Stampeder defense. Simpson missed a lot of last year. Deron Mayo had been forced to move over from the weak side into the middle for a lot of 2015.
Big down here for both sides. 3-man rush. Harris slinging. That one had some wobble to it. Didn't get a good spiral on it. And again, it was into tight coverage. So back to the kickers. Chris Milo to put the REDBLACKS ahead here early in the fourth quarter. Last year, again, these two teams played twice. They split it, both on their home fields. The REDBLACKS winning in overtime here July 24th, and then the Stamps stomping REDBLACKS in August, 48-3. Milo from the 46-yard line. A guy who solidified the REDBLACKS last year misses here. Finch brings it out. And against the wind, did not have enough. Milo so good last year and in the early season. Not this time. Score stays tied at 13. Week 3 in the CFL. Early season continues tonight. Battle going on here. Tough night for the kickers on both sides. Score stays the same, tied at 13 here. Bo Mitchell looks over the top. Anthony Parker with a penalty flag on the far side. Dropped at the 28-yard line.
Well, both quarterbacks doing
Illegal
a great
contact
job.
on the receiver. Ottawa, number 24. Penalties decline. First down.
You're seeing both quarterbacks doing a great job using all of their receivers, spreading the ball around the field, keeping those wide side wideouts. Parker for Calgary, Jake Hardy for Ottawa, involved in that game.
Two big play receiving cores. 1st and 10. Messam plowing his way up near the 30, make that the 38-yard line. Looks like they're going to spot it close to the 40. 2nd and short.
Jerome Messam with a head of steam. Arm tackles aren't going to get it done.
All he needs is a pair of headlights in the front. You got a Mack truck. Big man in the backfield. There he goes again. And he'll be spotted at the 40. And it's going to be 3rd down. Had to get to the 42, and looks like they're bringing out Rob Maver. They're not going to go for it on 3rd down, so it becomes a field position battle now.
Jarrell Gavin's the halfback, giving up probably in the neighborhood of 60 or 70 pounds. Jerome Messam had the right strategy. Take him low.
Maver. Been an all-star punter, of course. Preston Jackson down near the 29-yard line. Score is tied at 13 here on Friday Night Football. Defense is rising up. Damaso Munoz says, not in our house. As there is here tonight in Ottawa. REDBLACKS trying to stay undefeated, getting all they can handle from their rivals from the West. 13-13's got a kind of a playoff intensity here tonight. Nick Grigsby. And again, slow to get up is Grigsby. This is a guy, keep in mind, that hasn't exactly been in football playing shape over the last couple of months.
Looking pretty good when asked here by the Ottawa REDBLACKS, however. A nice job of play calling there, using their different personnel packages. That time the fullback, Patrick Lavoie, was in. He's on the front side of the play. What they're doing, getting him up, blocking at the line of scrimmage, is essentially forcing Calgary to defend an extra gap at that line of scrimmage. It's flattening out the defense a little bit, taking away a second-level defender. As you saw, once Grigsby got a crease, it turned into a big run.
Grigsby's been a busy guy, just not on the football field. Here's Brent Wallace.
Yeah, Rod, you could say he's motoring of a different kind, if you will. See, Nick Grigsby works at, as he says, the #1 Kia dealership in the world in Florida, and that he's number 10 in sales. Now, he says he's very good at selling cars. He really likes it. We asked him, though, is there anything that there is with selling cars that you could relate to on the football field? And he goes, no, there's nothing like being in the box and eventually scoring a touchdown. He says the greatest feeling in the world. So for now, Nick Grigsby will look to try and continue his football career. The guys back at the shop, he says, are big football fans, so they welcome any chance he can be back on the field.
All right, thank you, Brent. It's a great story they're watching on ESPN3 tonight, I'm sure, down there. I'm sure sales are down a little bit because Grigsby's up here.
That's right, number 10.
It's a football player, keeping the stats
That's
up.
right.
It's all about turnover. Grigsby in the backfield tonight, selling his game. 1st and 10. Back to him. Quick Nick. Kind of funny, though, how Grigsby just hasn't been able to hang on to employment in the Canadian Football League. Being the feature guy, coming in with injury. You thought in Winnipeg that was a natural fit, and then Paris Cotton took his job, and he ended up in Hamilton and Edmonton, of course.
Yeah, a little bit of that is the nature of the position, supply and demand, particularly for American running backs.
putting him to work tonight. Punching the clock. Grigsby another first down, and he may find a new home here.
I'll tell you, the similarity between playing pro football, particularly at a position like running back and selling cars, is you got to be productive if you want to stay in business. Nick Grigsby has been that when given the opportunity here tonight.
Sure, he has a desk back at that dealership. Those guys are watching, his colleagues. Keep the desk clean, but he might not be back there for a while.
That's right.
Grigsby playing well here tonight. And very close. Might be a little short, just inches. So a third down play coming. And a car salesman. Just happens to be an outstanding running back.
And there you see number 49 for Calgary, linebacker Alex Singleton. Their first round pick in 2016. He's in at middle linebacker. You saw Taylor Reed helped off the field a few minutes ago. Singleton, a neat story, a guy whose draft year would have been 2015 but didn't get his Canadian status until after that had passed. Well, by that time he was in the Seattle Seahawks training camp. Spent part of last year as well, the New England Patriots, and then with Minnesota before being drafted this year by the Stamps in 2016.
Harris in, third down, first down. Singleton in on that as well. Well, Alex Singleton, when he was playing at Montana, by the way, a school where his coach once played, was also a teammate of a guy who recently got signed by the Calgary Stampeders, and that's Zach Minter.
Yeah, both Montana State rivals of the Montana Grizzlies.
And they were teammates. Minter didn't even know Singleton had Canadian status when he got his citizenship and was in the draft. They started calling him a Canuck. Far side, cut back. Grigsby again.
Well, and the other twist for Singleton, this being his first real action on defense for the Calgary Stampeders, the twist is that before he got that Canadian status and realized what that meant for him as a CFL player, Ottawa was looking at him. He was a negless guy for Ottawa as an international player, as an American.
Now the story is, Dwayne, always be ready. Singleton in the game. Harris throws, and Ernest Jackson has his first catch of the night. Could not have come at a more perfect time for the Ottawa REDBLACKS.
Well, very fitting timing for Ernest Jackson, as he quite frequently becomes a go-to guy in crunch time within this offense.
First catch here in the second half, had one early in the first. So a 20-yard gain inside the 30-yard line. Harris slinging it again. Jake Hardy.
Well, we talked briefly, Rod, about those University of Calgary receivers. Hardy here in Ottawa. Anthony Parker, of course, on the other side tonight for Calgary. Nate Kuhorn in Edmonton, all high picks. Monday, a pro day coming up at the University of Calgary for another one of their receivers, Rashawn Simonize, looking to get in the NFL supplemental draft after being declared academically ineligible for next season. He'll be a 2017 CFL draft prospect.
Pumps it, and then pumps it into Brad Sinopoli. Down to the 11. 17 yards with 7.5 to go.
Oh, Trevor Harris nickel and diming his way here. And again, spreading the ball around. You can't overplay any one of these Ottawa receivers because one of the others will hurt you.
Harris now 21 of 38, 337 yards. 2 touchdowns and a pick. In trouble now. Here comes the heat. Out of the backfield. Sinopoli took a hit down near the 5. Release valve with Sinopoli.
Yeah, it's a check release for Sinopoli. He's initially in as part of that protection. Snuck out late into the flat.
Huge play for the Stampeders D. And the Ottawa O. Second down and 4. They can get it to the 1 and get a fresh set, but they're going to look end zone likely. They do, and it's caught! Hat trick! Chris Williams. The little guy is having a monster night.
Well, these three receivers, Ellingson in the front, Jackson behind him, and Williams out wide, play around with their spacing. They narrow down to give Williams as much room as possible to work. He sells it, he's going outside. Again, Fred Bennett overplays that because he doesn't want to get beaten by Williams' speed when he thinks he's committed there, and then bends it back in. But again, because of the way they work their spacing of the field, he still gave himself room to work, space to play with as he came back in.
121 yards for Chris Williams, 9 catches, 3 touchdowns. Throw your hat. Guy is something else. Red Blacks by 7.
Let's go! We love this!
Under the heading, no kidding. Love it a lot better for Chris Williams after 3 touchdown catches tonight.
Yeah, the Chris Williams show rolls on here into week 3. Climbing the ladder to get that one.
Such a dynamite player. Now Calgary's turn to answer. They have tonight. Finch. Runs right into Connor Williams.
And I want to go back and take a quick look at that Chris Williams touchdown and the route combination on the front side. You're going to see Ellingson come hard underneath. Ernest Jackson going to the corner, and what it leaves is a whole lot of room underneath on that side of the field for Chris Williams, the third receiver out there, to work and get open. He does just that.
6 touchdowns into his 3rd game.
Well, that unselfishness, giving themselves up to get open, is one of the keys for this Ottawa receiving corps.
Low snap, wobbly toss, but on the far side, Calgary Stampeders will pick up 8 yards. Fullback Rob Cote has his first catch of the night.
Well, Cote now in his 10th season. Building some seniority on that Calgary roster.
Just turned 30 years old, Rob Cote. This crowd is not budged here tonight. Full house. Mess up. 2nd and 2 and more.
They could call that play the sledgehammer.
He is the human sledgehammer.
Or just not much of a hole there, so he'll do everything in his power to make one.
Mitchell fires. Bakari Grant, what a cutback. Grant takes it down inside the 20-yard line. Bakari Grant making his impact in his first game with the Calgary Stampeders.
Yeah, what a great move after the catch. He's going to work across the field. Got all his momentum and the momentum of the defender going that way. Great awareness of where that pursuit was coming from. 4 catches for Bakari tonight, 76 yards.
What a pickup he's been. Big play, receiver inside the red zone. Looking end zone now, and again it's Grant. And he won't go down. Abdul Kane had him up around the helmet. Looks like it'll be a first down. Calgary will go 1st and goal. Oh, Abdul Kanay almost ripped his lid off. He didn't get flagged for roughing. Almost a horse collar as well. But the Stamps driving the football, looking to reply here. 20-13 the score right now. 3:08 to go. Stamps sniffing the end zone.
Those tough on the field deserve a truck that's tough on the road. The 2016 GMC Sierra.
I know it's only July, early July, but this feels like almost a playoff game here tonight, doesn't it?
Well, great intensity, and this goes along with the parity that we seem to be seeing through the first couple
that Jock Climby wants.
Jock Climby? I thought that was Jose Bautista in the studio tonight.
You've been waiting to use that, haven't you? Jocko, we like the beard. Forrest Hightower hurt again. He's been struggling with that back. The bearded Jocko back in the studio with Matty and Rod Smith. Don't forget, after this, send you off to Edmonton. Eskimos, Saskatchewan Roughriders. We'll pump up the volume here in Ottawa once more. Probably the final play before the 3-minute warning. It has been an intense night from the opening kick. We've seen some big plays. Messum's in the pistol. Right behind Bull Mitchell, who's throwing. To Messum. You ain't stopping him. Touchdown.
Catches it at the 1-yard line, and on momentum alone, there's no way he's not making it to the end zone.
Beast mode again for Jerome Messum. Takes it to the end zone. And now the pressure on this 32-yard point after.
Which has not been a gimme for the Calgary Stampeders.
Normally it would be for Rene Paredes. He's missed a convert tonight. Three of 6 from the 32-yard point after. This one is good, though. Back and forth we go. 3-minute warning. Messum makes a miss. Touchdown Stamps. We are all tied in Ottawa.
Coming up, part 2 of our doubleheader. Last November, Chris Jones, Darius Bowman won the Grey Cup together with the Eskimos tonight on opposing sides. Riders, Eskies, and Edmonton. But first, the conclusion of a very close game in Ottawa. Back to Rod and Dwayne.
Hard work. Here we go. Everybody back home love you. Rolling, what's up? I told you I'd get you a touchdown, boy. What's up, Bruce? What's up?
Everybody back in Brampton, back home. Brampton Beast, Jerome Messum. This ball will bounce out of bounds. There's a penalty on that.
Illegal kickoff. Calgary, number 30. Ball will be placed at the 45-yard line. First down.
Immediately placed at the 45.
Yeah, and going back to look at that touchdown, Simon Charbonneau-Campo, he's got the attempt to rub here. They've got 2 guys in pursuit, but essentially he's trying to create room for Jerome Messum to get out in the flat. Does a good job taking out one of those defenders, getting in the way. Second guy's just late enough getting there to allow Messum to get there. But this one's nearly knocked down. You see Martin Wright, the DN, at the line of scrimmage. If he had about another half inch on those fingertips, he might have batted that one down.
Well, it's been a night of clock-chewing drives, long drives, taking up a lot of the clock. Basically a 2.5-minute offense here. Chance to win the ball game for the Ottawa REDBLACKS.
Yeah, and this is part of the challenge. We talk all the time about 2-minute offense or hurry-up offense where you're dealing with limited time. Here, quite frankly, there's plenty of time. You want to make your way down there, but your ideal situation is to not leave Calgary a lot of time to come back the other way.
Well, you also don't want to give that ball back, and you need first downs. Harris goes deep for Williams again. Took a deep shot. First down. Key for Harris, though, has been second down conversions and had a step this time, but Tommy Campbell. Look at the difference in height between Campbell and Williams. Stride for stride. Here's a big down here. 2.5 to go. Conversion time for the REDBLACKS. 3-man rush. Harris now decides to go. And a big play again by Charleston Hughes on a 3-man rush. Harris saw some light and it quickly closed.
Yeah, Charleston Hughes getting in pursuit mode in a hurry here. He's coming off this edge when Harris takes off. Hughes is tracking him.
This is third down. There's some confusion here. There's a challenge flag. And they're challenging a late hit on Alex Singleton. And Harris got it right on the back of the shoulder blades.
Ottawa is challenging that there was roughing the passer on the play. We'll review the play.
Singleton was kind of in midstream coming at Harris. And this will look like it could keep this drive alive.
Yeah, well, the contact ends up helmet to helmet at the end of this play.
And the crowd seeing it. Harris came up right away, and guess what? There is no doubt. The evidence is substantial. Trevor Harris right away signaled for a challenge. Expanded challenge rules this year. You can probably hear it. Singleton knew it. Clearly helmet to helmet.
Yeah, and there are times where, quite frankly, in football, it's inevitable, and I don't think that's where he's targeting.
No, he wasn't.
But you've got a quarterback who's a moving target, and remember, I mean, the officials don't make a call based on intent because they can't judge intent. So they've got to call it based on what they see, on what the outcome is.
Crowd continues to ooh and ah as they keep showing this up on the big screen. This was such a huge play, though, for the Stamps when you think about it. Would have forced the REDBLACKS to kick. Harris just gets creamed here. Helmet, that head vulnerable. Say the evidence is all there, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it would certainly seem to be. All the angles were pretty clear.
Harris is staying out. He feels it's going to be a successful challenge. Just awaiting word here. Here's Kim Murphy.
After review, we have roughing the passer. Calgary, number 49. 15 yards from the end of the play. Automatic first down.
An absolute game changer. That would have forced the REDBLACKS to kick. Calgary would have had the ball back. Instead, they're now well within Chris Milo's range here. They have time to play with 2:29. The drive continues. Harris. Now he goes up the middle again. And a penalty flag on the far side.
Well away from the play.
Chris Williams out there. That's when that flag was dropped. They're saying it's against Calgary as well.
Major foul, face mask. Calgary, number 94.
So we couldn't see it from here, but on that bring down by Frank Beltre, he got the grill of Trevor Harris.
Beltre is going to be the man in pursuit. There's the left hand, catches the face mask. A good call from the official on the sideline.
Stamps came into this week the least penalized team in the Canadian Football League. 2 major calls. They'll eat up some more clock and some more turf. 2:20 to go. Grigsby left side finds the gap. Second down. Ron Claybrooks, the defensive coordinator, along with Dave Dickinson and Rick Campbell watching now.
And Ottawa now happy to get that clock ticking again.
You don't get the first down here, though. You bring out Milo and you give the ball back to the Stamps. Need a first down. Grigsby close to it. Will be short of it. They had to get down to the 9, and they are marking it. It looks like at the 10.
Singleton comes up with a big tackle there to stop him.
They're bringing Milo out.
First down marker.
3rd down and 1. Bringing out Chris Milo here with 1:55 to go. This will give the ball back to the Stamps. We'll have a chance to tie if Milo makes, or a chance to take it to the end zone and win it. 3rd and 1.
That's a long
Calgary.
one as well. You know, I mean, I think probably a lot of fans here are wondering about whether they should gamble, go for it, keep possession, need up some more time, try and score a touchdown.
If you don't make it, you give it to Calgary. They got a chance to win.
This is, you know, I mean, a lot of times you treat a 1-yard situation, short yardage situation, as that gimme.
You know what?
Because of the neutral zone.
Buddy, they just changed their minds. They just changed their minds. Milo comes back to the sideline. So the timeout by the Stamps and a change of heart for the REDBLACKS. Keenan LaFrance in the backfield. Shotgun formation here.
We're going to empty the backfield.
And now they're saying there was movement. And it's a procedure call likely here against the REDBLACKS. Or no, the REDBLACKS are saying it's against Calgary. Frank Beltray was celebrating, thinking it's a procedure call. Claybrooks can't believe it.
Offside. Calgary, number 39. 5-yard penalty. First down. Ottawa.
3 crippling penalties on this drive.
Just huge.
So watch here. Charleston Hughes jumped in and got back. Stamps thought that the REDBLACKS had moved. Sir Vincent Rogers. 1st and goal. Inside pitch here. To the end zone. No. Ernest Jackson. Singleton in on the play again. 1:49 to go. Down to the 1. You think about this drive. Stampeders with bullet holes in their cleats from the penalties.
Yeah, no question. Letting the Ottawa REDBLACKS off the hook, particularly when they had them stopped on 2nd down.
Grigsby in the backfield with Harris. Gets it, and he's stuffed. Fumble football! Joshua Bell has it. Incredible. Would you ever have thought, with 1:24 to go? Let's take a look.
Yeah, we'll see the timing of this ball coming loose. I think it was Singleton again, the middle linebacker. Came up and filled. He supplied the hit. I think the ball, hard to tell. My initial impression is that the ball was out before Grigsby was down. There's the hit.
Looks like it's out. But his knee, if his knee's down, he's down. They review every turnover.
Yeah, this might be our best angle of where the ball comes out.
After all of that, it is a turnover. Jerome Messel.
I'll tell you what, this is critical for Calgary, because if they're forced into a punt situation, right away. Minute 20 to go. Ottawa is very close to field goal range the second they field the punt.
The only thing is, the wind is still blowing. Milo would kick into the wind. Maver would kick with the wind, so we didn't need an enormous punt. That could change right now if the Stamps can get a first down. What a sequence of events here in this last minute. Going deep down the sideline, a huge overthrow and a penalty flag. And Anthony Parker pointing to the flag. Can you comprehend what we've seen in the last minute?
Well, a crazy last couple of minutes. Now, we'll take a look on this outside matchup with Anthony Parker. There was definitely contact, no question about the contact.
Pass interference. Ottawa, number 21. Point of foul, automatic first down.
You cannot touch the receiver after 5 yards. That was way downfield. Brandon Sermons. And there's life in the Calgary Stampeders when it looked like they might have been dead in the water. So Rick Campbell has thrown a challenge.
No question that there was contact. I think Anthony Parker may have helped sell this a little bit, I'll put it that way.
Brandon Sermons thought he had made a good play. Here's the call.
Ottawa.
Looks like Kim Murphy has an issue with his mic.
Ottawa does not have a challenge remaining. The play as stands.
Play stands.
Again, no question about the contact.
Now the Stamps, a chance to come downfield, and there's another penalty flag.
It looks like this one's going to go against Calgary.
.50 seconds remain. Penalty ridden last minute.
Calgary, number 81, blocking downfield prior to a pass. 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
Ari Grant arguing his case here. So suddenly the Stampeders look like they had no hope, even with this penalty, have a chance here to get down and kick a field goal. Keep in mind, they have the win.
And there you saw a questionable call on Bakari Grant.
Low snap, 1st and 20. Slinging it. Caught by Anthony Parker. 43 remains.
Parker missed an opportunity to get out of bounds there.
Still going to be short of a first down by a couple yards. So they need the first down, can continue the drive and get it into field goal range. Field goal range. And that fumble by Nick Grigsby absolutely looms large. Oh, what a hit. Jermaine Robinson.
Robinson sniffed this one out all the way. You remember the end of the first half when Calgary picked their way down the field, going to that flat with the motion with Mark McDaniel into the boundary.
So instead of keeping the drive alive, they've got to boot it away.
You'll watch as Markway McDaniel's coming this way. Jermaine Robinson has a beat on him the second he starts moving.
Huge lick on Marquay McDaniel. So 3rd down, Maver. Big foot. 16 seconds to go. Towering kick. Chris Williams goes down. 5 seconds to go, and we're that far away from the overtime shootout. And who would have thought we would have got there on that last drive by the Ottawa REDBLACKS, who must feel like they've let one slip away here.
And this is where, for Ottawa, both the coaching staff and the players on the field, they've got to shake that off. Presume at this point you look to safely get it into the overtime situation with the ball in your own end. You don't want to take any chances having Trevor Harris drop back to pass. So victory formation, and we're going to OT.
I guess you could call that tie formation. So, just as they did a year ago on this stadium, the Ottawa REDBLACKS and Calgary Stampeders are going to overtime. Last year, the REDBLACKS won it. Game-winning field goal. Here's how it works. 2 mini games, max. Scrimmage from the 35. Got to answer that score, of course. You must attempt a 2-point conversion. Team that scores the most points in the mini game wins the game. The game is still tied after the 2 mini games. It's a tie.
Well, let's take a look back at the opportunity that got away for the Ottawa REDBLACKS. Calgary seemed to have them stopped there, but a penalty flag, roughing the passer, kept the drive alive. And later pushed closer to the goal line. That side against Charleston Hughes. And Nick Grigsby, who's been so good here in his first game as a REDBLACK. As one play he'd love to forget.
What a goal line stand. Devon Claybrooks, former CFL star, now their defensive coordinator. Did you see the look of anguish and anxiety on that Calgary's sideline during that whole trip? And it goes to show you how fleeting momentum is in football.
Yeah, the roller coaster of emotion. Everything can change in a moment. Even as an individual player, you look at Alex Singleton, the guy who had the biggest penalty on that drive was the guy who came up with the hit that popped the ball free. And that's where you've got to have a short memory in terms of making mistakes, having some bad luck, whatever the case may be. The most important play is always the next one.
Going from a goat to a hero, back to a goat, back to a hero. You never know how it works. That's sports. That's the Canadian Football League. Coming up, Rough Riders and Eskimos from Edmonton. When we are done on 1, 3, and 4. Hard to say who has the momentum going in here. Ottawa certainly had loads of it in that final drive and had the football. Calgary escapes and know they have a chance to steal one here.
Well, you've got these two teams. We talked earlier in the ball game about the similarity between the two teams and how one of the things that Rick Campbell brought with him from Calgary was that desire and that ability to win close football games. To have that kind of mettle, that kind of character on your team. So I think for both of these groups, it doesn't matter what has happened up to this point. They'll both be focused on what goes on starting now.
So Calgary won that coin toss. What's your tact in this? Would you like the ball first?
I want the ball second, because then you always know what you have to do. Basically, when you go first, you feel a lot of pressure to score a touchdown.
But if you score that touchdown, puts a lot of pressure on that team that goes second. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but you know what the target is when you're going second.
Calgary electing to play D again from the 35-yard line. Trevor Harris back in the saddle here. And with the wind. Boy, this has been a night where the coaches, players earn their money. It's been a hard-hitting affair. A lot of ebb and flow. Good drama. Now we're in overtime in the shootout here in Ottawa. A little extra time for the sold-out crowd at TD Place Stadium. You knew they're going to this guy, Williams. We might see a healthy dose of him. We also could see the Calgary Stampeders start to concentrate on 80 a little more. He's had 3 touchdowns in this game.
Definitely, as Ottawa edges closer to the end zone, they'll have to be very aware of him. But as we've discussed, the balance that Ottawa employs in their passing game makes it very difficult to devote too much attention to one guy in terms of your coverage.
2nd down and 1. Grigsby again. This will depend on the spot. They're going to spot it right on the 25. And it looks like it's going to be 3rd down. So Nick Grigsby stopped twice on key downs. Elbow comes down. That's a good spot.
Yep, just behind that line.
So 3rd down in the shootout. Harris keeps it going. Idea is to get a touchdown and play some D.
A great surge here from that Ottawa front. Make that an easy get.
We have an injury on the field here in overtime now. One of the D linemen face first on the turf. That Stampeder offense preparing their playbook here for the shootout. One thing for sure, they get the ball at least once. Again, a year ago they were in overtime here. The Red Blacks got a big win. Kicker named Delbert Alvarado was the hero for the night. Did not last the season.
Keep an eye here, Rod, on Derek Wigan, defensive tackle. You're going to see him surge forward and come through the pile. And as the bodies are across his legs, there's his helmet. Watch for his arm to come through. So you can tell he's clearly tangled up as he's kind of
tapping out. Never easy to be the guy at the bottom of a pile.
Calgary already with some injuries to their interior D line. Junior Turner starting the season on the 6-game injured list. He was their top Canadian a year ago. Had Quinn Smith, first-round pick a couple years ago, ready to go, filling in admirably. He went down this week, giving Derek Wigan, the Queens product, an opportunity to get the start. Now Wigan injured. Stampeders brought in Zach Minter, most recently of the BC Lions, provide some depth in that spot, and he's going to be pressed into action right here alongside Micah Johnson at D tackle.
The big boys helping him off. He'll take it slow to the sideline. They'll have some time to rest. They have the bye next week for the Calgary Stampeders, trying to depart Ottawa with a win here tonight. Certainly a possibility. Make that bye week go a lot easier. Next week, the Ottawa REDBLACKS travel to Toronto, BMO Field. Trevor Harris against his old mates. They look to go 3-0. Here we are back in this shootout. 1st and 10 for the REDBLACKS. Here comes some heat down the sideline. Trying to leap for it. Brad Sinopoli.
Well, they try to take advantage of the height edge that Brad Sinopoli has over the defender. Halfback Brandon Smith, who's the man in coverage. Put it up high and let him go get it. Smith did a nice job getting in that hip pocket. not giving Sinopoli enough breathing room to go get that ball.
Who will they go to here? They had Ellingson on that last play. Will it be Williams? Harris is in trouble, but he throws, and there's a penalty flag just as Harris threw the football. It's a hold against the Red Blacks. And this will bring out Chris Milo to put 3 points on the board and force the Stamps to get at least a field goal to tie.
Holding Ottawa number 59. Penalties decline. Third down.
It's interesting to watch here on the into the boundary. They got Chris Williams isolated, lone receiver on that side. Watch how Calgary walks the linebacker, Deron Mayo, over to that side. He's going to provide help for Tommy Campbell. As you can see by his position, he takes away that matchup to Williams.
32-yard distance, basically the convert distance that Milo also missed a convert early tonight. Must make here in OT. Kick is up, and it is good. So the Red Blacks hold serve here. Now it's up to the Calgary Stampeders. Again, they must match with a field goal. If they get a touchdown, they get a W.
This is it. And this, again, going back to our discussion at the start of overtime, this is why you want to go second. You know what you need. You know that you can settle for a field goal here.
Well, the thing about the shootout is that you're always in field goal range. Bo Levi Mitchell, after his defense came up with a huge goal line stand to keep his team alive. There was a whistle and movement on the line as this play was just getting off.
Well, the Ottawa fans on cue as the Calgary Stampeders walked up to the ball. Everybody in this place was on their feet making all kinds of noise. Dave Dickinson kind of saw him signal and read his lips. Suggested the headset wasn't working.
Mitchell, lob toss, but it was like a knuckleball that came out of his hand. Incomplete. So second down now from the 35.
Well, that knuckleball influenced by Arnaud Gascon-Nadon off the edge. Watch the right hand.
Got a piece of it, did he?
No.
Maybe not.
Tough to say. I think he may have been a half step late.
Feeling the heat, though. Listen to this place. Mitchell throws over the top. Oh! Would have been game over. Jermaine Robinson. And that's twice now the Ottawa Redblacks had victory taken away.
All kinds of pressure. Connor Williams right in the face of Bo Levi Mitchell, leading to that rush throw. And this throw was trouble all the way. Antoine Pruneau had good coverage. Just playing center field.
That was a gift. Interception for Jermaine Robinson. There is an injured Red Black, Terrell Gavins. So it is going to come down to Rene Paredes to keep this thing going.
Calgary is challenging that there was pass interference on Calgary number 16. We'll review the play.
So they're going to challenge here.
Matchup, that was Pruneau on the intended receiver. Marquay McDaniel will take a look. Marquay McDaniel lines up as the number 3 receiver to the left side of this formation. Straight man coverage.
Now, there was some contact, but ball was so underthrown here. I'm not sure. What do you think?
Not that it matters, but I wouldn't call it. I don't believe that there's a pass interference call to be made here.
After review, it's been determined that there is no pass interference on the play. Ruling on the field stands. It's third down.
I see somewhere down the road in your next life, video replay official.
No. No. I don't envy those guys.
No,
I don't envy
all right,
any role on the officiating crew.
Here it is. Here it is. With the crowd, the enemy right now. Rene Paredes has hit so many clutch field goals. And what has been a great career for this young man. He has struggled a little bit here tonight. This will be from the 42. He has the wind. It's a must make to keep overtime going. The kick. Let's play on. The second mini game now. And if the score remains tied after this, it is tied.
Well, now one thing that's going to be interesting to watch here, Rod, you saw Jarrell Gavins go down on the last defensive play for Ottawa. Remember, Forrest Hightower is already out of this game, missing from this Ottawa secondary. Brandon Sermons is already in as one backup. Now John Boyette coming into the secondary as well. So Ottawa's depth being tested a little bit here.
This has been a heavyweight battle tonight, offensively, defensively. And both kickers who have struggled a little bit tonight have to come up big in overtime, and they do. So getting ready for the second game here.
Fresh accent, bro.
So we're going to go against the wind offensively this time. Order flipping, so Calgary's offense right back out on the field.
So this time, the Red Blacks will get a chance to match or win. They'll go last. Stamps to take advantage here. Second minigame here. Play action. For Mitchell. Joe West down to the 10, to the 5. What a big play. So they get down to the 4-yard line.
Well, West gets the glory here, but watch Markway McDaniel. He's going to do the dirty work this time. Guy who's been the Stamps' leading receiver. Motions across. He's got the blitz pickup. Stone's the rushing halfback. Abdul Kane allowing that pass to develop, allowing the route time to develop.
There have been so many turns of momentum and emotion in this game. Trying to set the standard here and broken up. Looking for Torrey Harrison. Incomplete. It'll be second down.
Throwing into tough coverage. That time, Torrey Harrison motions out of the backfield to become the number 3 receiver. To the field, he's trying to run that quick slant underneath. Great job by the linebacker, David Hines, ranging out to help out.
TD Place Stadium. Rocking right now. Mitchell trying to silence them. And no! Incomplete. So now, from the 4, the best the Stamps are going for here is the field goal to take the lead and force the Red Blacks to match or win.
Just appeared to be a miss for Bakari Grant.
You know, this is a night, the theme has been opportunities lost.
Yes.
You're down at the 4, couple of cracks, comes down to a kick again. Chippy, Paredes buries it. Up 3. Now the Red Blacks need a field goal to tie, a touchdown to win in overtime. Well, time now for our Nissan Titan Player of the Game, brought to you by Nissan Titan, official vehicle of the CFL. Game's not over, but Chris Williams, nobody's going to do what he did.
Well, up to this point, yeah, Chris Williams continuing what has been the trend for him through the first 2 and now 3 weeks of the season. Another 10 catches, 130 yards, 3 touchdowns in this ball game. For, without a doubt, the hottest player in the Canadian Football League, and now our Nissan Titan Player of the Game.
Looking for more here in OT. Trevor Harris tries to step up. Far sideline. Ellingson tripped up.
There's another guy who's had a whale of a ball game tonight for Ottawa. Greg Ellingson. Ellingson, the inside receiver, into the boundary. Has Williams clearing. Creates that space on the out route.
Chris Williams also could have been a target there. First down inside the 20. Red Blacks looking for the W. Harris rolls out of the backfield. And Ernest Jackson puts that bucket down. Picks up 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Have to get it to the 8-yard line, and you can go 1st and goal. What a nerve-wracking game this has been. Excitement tonight in the Canadian Football League. Harris again. What a catch! Didn't catch it. Greg Ellingson looked like he had it for a moment. And Ellingson trying to lay back. Can't haul it in. Incomplete.
Very close. Got his hands on it. Nice adjustment to the ball, but just unable to squeeze it.
So the best we can do here tonight for the Ottawa Redblacks, for this team, is a tie. For the Calgary Stampeders, a miss by Milo for the win. Inside the 20. Game over. Tie game. And maybe that was the most appropriate ending of all.
Well, it was the game down the stretch that nobody seemed to want to win.
And they didn't.
Both teams with great opportunities. So as you said, a fitting end to this one. The kickers, who struggled through much of it, both came through in the end.
As they did in the past. Guys who've won Grey Cups and have been heroes. 26-26 in OT tonight. Quite a game in the nation's capital. Red, Blacks, and Stamps. Trevor Harris, great night. Chris Williams, amazing night. Still, we have a tie in Ottawa. Back to Rod and the boys in the studio.
Thank you, Rod. We now take viewers from TSN's 1 and 4.